Thanks very much, Dean Jano. What a wonderful day. I've really enjoyed this, and I had a feeling that this was our best. I've been to all 5. This, I think, was the best one yet, but then I remember thinking that last year, too. But I really enjoyed it. And I wanted to wrap up by just having just a couple of thoughts about what has been consistent in the conferences, and then maybe just a few ideas that have percolated up in this one that are themes that have come up throughout the day that I think are illustrative and something that we should probably hold on to as we move into other events and other areas of intervention in policy and scholarship. So what is the same is that technology is just speeding along at breakneck pace. You know, every year there are new technologies that are discussed, but what is the same is that the cyber policy questions that arise within the arrangements of technology are certainly some of the most consequential public interest issues of our generation. And we saw that again today. So there's so much on the line in getting digital policy right. It's very, very important. And I think that this has been a very multi-stakeholder gathering, not only in different actors, but also one of the benefits of this conference is to get people from different, just speaking as an academic, from different academic disciplines together. So that multidisciplinarity is fundamental to this, and I think is very, very helpful. So it's sort of like the elephant, where some people see the trunk, some people see the tail. We try to see the whole elephant here, and I think we did that today. But what were just a few observations on themes that jump to mind. One is that more than ever, economic interventions are part of cyber governance. We have always focused on protecting the digital economy, the implications to the digital economy, the stakes of cyber policy in the digital economy. But what I heard today a lot was, what are the economic interventions that can serve as part of cyber policy? And that was very interesting. I think that Kara Swisher kicked off that theme a little bit when she said, the Russians were customers of Facebook, and a lot, that kind of set the stage. The business models, we heard discussions about economic competition, how to look at antitrust in this area, venture capital. So that really stuck out to me today, and I think that was an important development as the the vanguard continues to move. Another one is the issue of the regulatory environment. And I'll just quote my friend Anupam Chander. We are officially in the era of regulating the internet, and we certainly are. Ellie Noam said we need to eschew regulatory imperialism. A lot of issues came up around the philosophy of regulation, and it's very understandable why there are so many concerns and questions about regulation. We discussed that a lot, but also the concern about not getting that right and what regulation can take away from human rights and from the economy and from the way the internet is. So that was an important theme that came up. And then finally, and briefly, people. There were a lot of discussions about the individual and how the person can get involved in cyber policy and as part of the cyber regime complex, whether controlling one's own data, data portability, and many other issues. So I enjoyed those themes. I enjoyed being here. And speaking of people, I personally want to thank Dean Jano for her leadership in this whole area of cyber policy, and I'm sure you'll join me in thanking her. And I'll turn it over to Gordon.